Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Let's continue here and see what we can do. We already got through all of these. Now let's go through those air executors. I don't think I'm ready yet to commit my air force given the appalling state of the weather still. But it seems actually there are a lot of areas still where there's actually no blizzard up here. That'd be good, but next turn is going to be bad anyway. So we've seen. I do think I've showed this. I mean, weather ground is not going to change, and weather air is going to be a lot worse. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I do have a little bit of the sniffles here, so please bear with me over here. First of all, I'm just gonna take a look whether there are any units that have unchained themselves from the burden of being static, but that does not seem to be the case. I do have the 218th Infantry Division. I'll take care of that in due time. And that's about it there. Do now have 4 Panzer divisions. I do need to send these guys away from here because that's just no good. They, interestingly, don't really seem to get a lot of movement. I guess that's because of their poor supplies, but they do have a lot of fuel. I do find that to be somewhat interesting. I guess probably I don't have a depot there. I do. Huh. Well, okay. At any rate, losses now somewhat higher for Soviets, 4.2. Let's just go over this again. Axi watermark. Total men. Just going over everything. Manpower losses. Last turn 59,000. For Soviets for us is 20. So things are not going great during these winters. You can really see the difference here. The knockoff from mid-September. Anyway, there is one last thing that I want to look at, and that's the captured pool. So we're going to Germany only here. And then going all the way down. Alright. So we are using the labor squads, but I just want to take a look whether we got something fancy. T-3440 is apparently a relatively special model. Since we mostly have 941 models. Okay. Another special thing is the KV-40 model. We also didn't see before. I mean, we did see KV-2s. That's nothing fancy, but apparently the KV-1 1940 is BT-78. That shouldn't be too special. Some field guns, mortars. These are not super fancy. Got a lot of field guns here. But that's about it. I'm not seeing anything particularly amazing. Amphibious tanks. That's about it, really. Oh well, what does this upgrade into anyway? Does it show? T-3441. Okay, well, never mind. Alright, let's go. Down in the south, seems like some of these are back. There are now 2 rifle divisions on that particular hex. I could launch an attack with Das Reich. Yeah. And just get a few extra losses. The good thing about it is that ultimately it does lower their number, so My hope is that with that at least they will have some slightly less of attacks going. Now, one thing that I want to do here, I think, yes, I want to go and plug the gap. And yeah, I'm losing a few tanks, but this way I do hope to maintain some order here for the time being. Attacking with Panzer Division parts is never the absolute most amazing thing, but oh well. Seems like they're working on that. That's nice. I'm certainly not complaining there. I did contemplate putting these in the Armor Group South. Now, Armor Group South does have a huge range. It's like it's a lot bigger than anything else. 90. Yeah, that would not be super great. How many units are there supposed to be in there? Anyhow, it's TOE. Its next TOE would be B. What changes? There seems to be absolutely no reason why it would switch to a B version. Why would that upgrade? It's the same. That's super weird. This one also just goes to B. These guys are not in a... Did I accidentally leave them there? Huh. That's weird, but yeah, I also want to keep that there. Oh, that's why I had the HQ out there. Let's just keep it. Okay. So most of these cannot attack because they are static. Yeah, okay. I don't feel that comfortable attacking with those guys. Neither here with those motorized units. I did it there because it seemed to be a bit easier. Also, if I attack with these guys, they're going to be significantly weaker afterwards. This also Viking is probably gonna get attacked pretty heavily constantly here, so I'm not feeling it there. I was gonna get an infantry over to this location. I was getting one over the railroad. So let's move it, take it off of the train. It can at least move in here. I'll probably pull these guys back as well. So if I do it like this, the line will be a little bit shortened. And I could then also pull some of these. So what I can do is I can actually pull the more powerful one and you back too. That does give them indeed once again a little bit of leeway, but that's okay. 35th Corps. There we are. So hopefully that will help a little bit over time. I'm not inclined to give up Orel. Let's see, the I do need to have place for it. The problem is actually I'm short on HQs. So let's again take an HQ and move it over in that direction. I guess this core here, this guy's not good, so let's switch him up. And preferably, let's see, one with high infantry, lower mech. 7 infantry, I would almost say, is a must. 7-3, 9-7-5-5. Because 9 is for politics. 9-7-5-6. This would be better then. Because I don't really care for his mech status. That's not important. Okay. Let's send him over. So let's get this guy over to Orel. Can't get off the train, so I'll have to take care of it next turn. Actually, it needs to be out here. So let's get it into Zukinishki and then get off the train. So first it was 45 and now it's 100. Super weird. Anyway. This 9th Army is also... Well, let's just call it overburdened. Let's just put them under the 9th Corps for now, which is obviously not great, but I'd rather have them under any corps than under the OKH, to be honest. We'll see how that goes. We have the 129th Infantry Division that is on 1% in supplies. Okay. Really? I mean, I can hardly send it out there with... Like, is this accurate? 1% supplies, 366 fuel, 7% ammo. What the heck? Alright, let's have the 7th Panzer Division plug that gap. And they're under a completely different corps. Is this even a city? No. But let's see here, because both of these are quite exhausted. So what I'm gonna have to do here, first of all, I actually want to send 3rd Panzer Army to Borodino. And currently we have 12th Panzer Division there on refit, but I do want to get both of these out there too. Now let's put these on refit. They're at 6,000 men, that's not good, and then 20th Motorized is also not particularly great status here. We'll have the 7th Panzer Division hold out there for a little while, hopefully. I can actually see these guys also not doing well, so I'm actually inclined to fall back with them a little bit. Same actually for all 3 of these. That would have me give up another city, but I actually feel that it's probably for the best for now, given the current situation. I'm actually quite confident I can get all of them in there, but I can't get them to join together. Now, I actually feel like getting 2nd Panzer Division off of the line. Let's send them in here and have both of these fall back. Actually, let's wait, because this is a 2. So I'll be moving out of there for the moment. I don't really like the way that's looking. so in terms of tanks and stuff, let's see how that goes. Oop. Okay. Pretty interesting that. I wonder how they're gonna work that out with the other tanks. Yeah, but at any rate, if I can get you in there, which I can, that would be a great boon. So, the units that are out here in the back, I feel like it's probably best to just put them under OKH for the moment, because they're refitting anyway. Yeah. And let's see about these. I'm not moving 2nd Panzer. I actually feel pretty... Yeah, I want to get these guys off of the line as well. Let's get the 81st Infantry Division to plug the gap. Let's move you further into Volokholamsk. And I'll reassign quite a few of these. Let's put these also under OKH. I'll probably even send these guys to the reserves. Like 6,000 men, they're at, you know, potentially 31% of TOE. That's just not good. Okay. So you're getting out of there too. Do I want to retreat them 1 hex further? Not necessarily. But it does mean as well, as part of the 57th Corps. How are they on infantry? They're fine. At least 57 motorized there. Okay. Let's take a look. So I was indeed going to retreat here. 35th, and this is 26. Interesting. So under the current conditions, I cannot actually just go and beat them. So what I'll be looking to do is 269th. Let's get you in there too. And pull back here. And I'll take it a bit easier here. They are depleted. Let's put them on reef. Oh. Put them on reef it into that city. Because you know, I don't want these guys to get encircled and destroyed here. I'll just retreat a little bit. That's not that problematic. I would ideally then still have the defense around that, but that's not gonna happen. Let's give up the fortified zone here. And this one too. Many of these are actually doing quite well. Very low amount of damage units. This is doing a lot less good. I'll probably have to shorten that line ultimately, probably to move into these light woods. But we'll see how that goes. I'd like to take that have that take as long as possible, so I can hold out here. Now, the problem actually here is this Heavy Woods Hex 2. They're likely to go and attack, but we'll see how that goes. Actually, would not be too surprised to see them retreat there. And with that, I mean, it's probably pretty likely that they will. There's also this other Panzer regiment. I would be inclined to give those to the 12th Panzer Division, probably. Cannot merge them like this. They probably both have to be on the same hex for a while. Can I send you to Borodino? Yeah, okay, I can. Let's do that, and let's send you up. And I'll reorganize the both of them on the next turn. Now, I need to take care of these units around Warsaw. So these guys are all fine in Warsaw itself. I suppose, because they're in a city. They're still getting damaged elements, but hey. And then these are not, so let's send these guys out down here. Let's keep them in Zaporozhye for the moment. Now, the 11th Army is quite a bit lower, or just a little bit lower than the 1st Panzer Army. So, I want to send these Rad Labor detachments over to the 11th. Well, actually, let's just put them under Army Group South here. I know that Army Group South's range is really big, but I feel like they've already done as much as possible around this area. So we'll just keep them there. How are we on fortifications in Sevastopol 3 as well? Where is this unit now? Okay, it's in Zaporozhye. It's in the city itself. Then I'll have the 218th. I'm actually quite inclined to send it over to the center as well. Mostly near Orel, where I feel like, well, actually, I don't want to say things are okay now. Let's actually send them over to Vyazma. Where did they historically go to anyway? Is there any... There's no information on them. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I'm just not in the wiki. Right, let's take a quick look at the Western Front at 101. So I better hope they won't take any units out now. Norway, 122. That's way too much, so I'll be shifting forces again back. Panzer Battalion. I don't think so. 121. How much can I miss? Around 15 max. Let's transfer this machine gun battalions. So a separate infantry regiment, eh? Well, I'd rather send entire divisions. 112. I could send another one. Puts a 1-3. Finland is now enough. Garrison is 104. North Africa 115. Italy 108. And the Balkans 102. So that's looking fine. And amongst the reserves, let's see what we can do. We can put another Stuk battalion and transfer them to the map. This one too. Then this Werfer battalion is empty. Romanian security units cannot move at this stage. Not willing to move those. There are quite a few replacement panzer battalions here that I cannot use at the moment. I'm not too sure whether I really like these replacement panzer battalions, but okay. What is their supposed TOE anyway? How's it upgrade? To Panzer 3 Fs, etc. Okay. All these different armored cars, I always find that pretty interesting. 6th? Huh? Okay. They're supposed to have 33s, but that's not happening. Alright. I think for 13th Panzer I can send them back to the front. To map. Okay, well, I guess the one last thing that I want to take a look at is the railroad. So there are some interesting railroad pieces here which are not connected, but which are repaired. So working on this here. This is also not connected, so it's not a... See if that works. Same for these. I mean, this railroad is getting quite close to Crimea now, but not quite in there yet. Same here. I would really like them to link these up. Same for this double rail. But most of the rails is still just not fixed at all. It certainly is something that needs to be worked on over time. But we'll get there hopefully. One thing that I'm quite curious at is indeed when the weather will dim down a little bit, like March or February already. That there are still blizzards in January is not a surprise to me, but I would expect the snow levels to start settling down a little bit. At least end February or beginning March at least. It's hard to say because I would I don't have any way to compare that kind of stuff at all, really. As yeah, I've never experienced the weather in Russia, so I really wouldn't be able to say. Uh-oh, I have that railroad still on. I probably cannot turn it off now. I tried. Please turn it off. Okay. Now 0 sorties again from the Russians here. Which does not surprise me. That's a lot of 0-0 things. I wonder what all those are, whether they're actually infantry, etc. It's already here. Okay. Like I said, I'm not surprised. At some point, I do feel like we'll have to retreat and narrow that line. That's why it's good that we already got Leningrad here. Might already shorten it now. Let's get those units in there. They will still suffer quite a bit. Oh. That's the new division. Or the fresh one, at least. I wonder whether they'll be able to move into that hex. Yeah. Now, in hindsight, I definitely do think that I should have started digging in earlier already. The situation that I've created here for myself is highly undesirable, I suppose. As I do not feel safe at all in the slightest. But on the other hand, yeah, that was predictable. I do feel like certain areas have held better than I initially expected. For a while, at least. Another 40 tanks, so... The numbers here really do not look good, by the way. Yeah. But if the AI is fair, they would not be able to move into that hex. I mean, it has combat delay of 6. You're just not going to move in there. Things are getting pretty dicey, even down here. I'd wonder whether I'd be able to ultimately make it through the winter with this huge bulge intact here. They did hold for another turn. There. That's why I put those tanks there. Blizzard is hitting really hard all across that terrain there. Huh. Wow. I mean, each turn we're seeing more cracks, which is not surprising. But also each turn we're inching closer to the end of winter. Wow. Just by the skin of their teeth they made it, huh? That really sucks. Just another 2 fortification is never nice. Yeah, here today have a lot of luck during this one actually. It's like the 3rd defense where they really had on the point. So I might actually have to try and beat them back. I have not a lot of units. I don't think I have any reserves at Oral itself either. Ideally, I will not give them Zuknishki too. That's also kind of like the ultimate area here, as the Soviets did take it during their winter offensive. Is that in Kaluga itself, or Kalinin itself? No, I think they're trying to bypass it here. It's to the side, yeah. The fact that they had enough movement to get all the way there is also not pleasing at all. But I will give the hexes. I don't want to say gladly, but holding on to that was never the ultimate goal, so I discussed that quite often enough, and I can't say it often enough again here. This entire area is really just to give me leeway into retreating. Although holding on to as much as possible there is just icing on the cake. There we go. January 25th. We'll take a look at the weather for the next turn as well, which will be February 2nd. Or 1st, I guess, since January is 31 days. Right? I always get so confused with it. I think it's 31, yeah. That research movement is probably not going to be a lot. Okay. Events, partisans. Yeah, never mind that. Sure. The most important thing by this stage is definitely the weather. But it does not look like it's going to be all that much better here. Although it seems like there are some places like here, that's rain. I mean, it's not close to where we are. I'm also not sure. It's hard to see whether this is snowfall. I mean, we're starting to get heavy mud from this side. But then again, this is the arid desert and arid steppe climate. So it makes more sense than to have that there. Right, it's not going to improve by a whole lot for the immediate future. I mean, predictably. Let's take that away for a little bit and see whether there are other areas where that rail is going to work. As you can see, it's really that much more spread out now. This is Army Group South, Army Group South. I wonder how far they're ultimately gonna go. Not that far. Alright. Okay, they seem to have increased the number of forces that they have there. Unfortunate, unfortunate indeed. They didn't actually get into that hex. Huh. Alright. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up, so I want to thank everybody for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, see you then. Bye-bye.